All right, so right here I'm looking at basically just this is today. Um, this area right here is what happened from 7 a.m. up until when the market closed. And I wanted to look back and see, instead of scalping just on the 1 minute, which is what I was doing, I want to see if there was any actual supply and demand setups that you could see, um, specifically just within the time that I would have actually been trading. So going to the 30 minute, not even, let's stay right here. This is basically marking up the high and the low of the previous day. Just in my head, I'm thinking, all right, there's certain kind of like just common trading habits where the last high and low for the previous day kind of wants to be broken some way. So if you have that in mind and you see that this candle right here, if I turn it off, you can see it. This candle didn't come down and break the previous low, so it gives you a better kind of thought process that we should be going up. Then you have the confluence with the SMA down there moving up as well. And it just never broke this previous low point either. It's making higher lows progressively. You got higher low there, higher low here. It comes, just wicks it. That next set of higher lows is right here. So what I was looking at was pretty much from right here, this push upward. It didn't break structure, but it's enough that it kind of gives you a nice, you can tell that this is definitely support and it's pushing away from it, if that makes sense. So dropping down time frames. I'm looking, and now I can see where on the smaller time frame you have this set of bodies here closing. You have that lower push, and then these bodies close above the previous, which would make this demand zone here valid. And then this is what I was looking for, was if there were any clear supply and demand setups, not just scalping as it goes up. Because when you do have the supply and demand setup, you're doing the pre-calculated risk, where in a sense it's a safer trade. If you're going to the previous high, it made it there. Would you get out right here? More than likely. Or would you kind of close near the SMA? That's also, it's something you can do, TPs are all entirely up to you. But just looking at this, you can do the 1 minute scalping method that I've been doing, and honestly, I make a lot doing that, but I kind of tie it into 1 minute supply and demand setups, or just 1 minute support and resistance between a high and a low of certain candles within a small range. But when you do that, you are in, I maybe take like 20 trades a day when I do that, versus this is one setup. You lose, it's not going in that direction. You can do another setup afterwards, and normally when you do supply and demand setups, you do 1 or 2 trades a day, and that's it. Whether you win or you lose, that's kind of it. But right here, it pushed up, came back, rejected from the zone, so you would actually be entering somewhere up here. Came back, you're not seeing much drawdown, and then your stop loss would be just below this set of lows. But you're not seeing much drawdown there at all. This risk to reward ratio here is 2.5, or 1 to 2.5. There's the 1 to 3. So that would be 1,500 if I was trading the way that mentally, or just the way that I should be trading safely. But it was just like seeing the 1 minute scalping method work as effectively as it did when I was focused. Bro, it seemed like a no-brainer for me to do that. But like I said, I have to keep the mental rule in my head, like just in my playbook. If I'm trading it like that, all the outside distractions I need to mitigate or have taken care of, because that was really the only time that I started to lose on the account. It was when I was no longer solely focused on the charts in front of me and I started to slip up. I don't know exactly what trade I can show you that shows where, and then my account already got reset, so it's kind of all of the data that was there is no longer there for me to see. But I feel like I can trade it both ways. It's just when I do the 1 minute scalping, I really got to be attentive. Versus this, you basically just wait for the setup to occur, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, you're stopped out.